Hey friends, Miss Yao here. We're going to take a look at your homework for the week before spring break. It will be due on Thursday, so Miss Yao apologizes. She made a spelling or a mistake right here. This should say Thursday, March 29th. That's the day it is due. Now, lucky for you, there's only 6 problems, and I'm doing 3 of them, so let's get started. Alright, let's go ahead and get started with number 2. Jessie shaded in 5/10 of her drawing. Naomi shaded in 3/100 of her drawing. How much more did Jessie shade in than Naomi? So if it's asking me how much more, it's telling me that I need to compare. And comparison, compare, okay, and to compare means to subtract. I'm trying to see who has more, who has less. Okay, so I'm going to put Jessie first because we know Jessie shaded more. And we are going to subtract that from 30 over 100. This looks weird though. My 2 denominators right over here are not the same. So how do we make the 10th into a 100th? Well, some of you already know. We are really multiplying by a factor of 10. So really we are just adding a 0 after 5, the numerator, and 10, the denominator. So 5/10 is the same thing as 50 over 100. Now let's solve. 50 over 100 minus 30 over 100, that's just 20 over 100. Now, my savvy friends will know that you can simplify, but let's check the answer choices. It's not E. Oh, there's F. And none of the other answer choices are simplified, so we're good to go. Alright, next we have number 4. Jonathan passed out 3 2/10 of his birthday cake at his party. So he probably has more than one birthday cake. What decimal best represents that number? Alright, so I know that I'm solving for a decimal, and I know that because of all my answer choices are literally decimals. So I'm not going to waste my time doing a fraction when I can literally just go straight to the point. So I'm going to draw my little chart. I have my decimal point. I know that this is my ones place or my whole number. And then I have my tenths, which represents the fraction 1 over 10. And I have, this looks terrible, and hundredths, which represents the fraction 1 over 100. I'm going to redo this. Ah, there we are. Much better. Okay, so Jonathan passed out 3 2/10 of his birthday cake at his party. So we know and is our decimal sign, and we know 3 is his whole number. How many whole cakes he passed down. Okay, so I'm going to put 3 in the ones place. That's my whole number. My decimal point is good. Okay, and 2/10. So should I place my 2 in the tenths place or the hundredths? Well, they said it, 2/10. Now the hundredths place, we have nothing. We can really fill it in with a 0. So let's find which answer choice best matches 3.20. Well, it's not this one. It's not this one. There it is. Alright, number 5. Which of the following shows a correct comparison? Oh my gosh, we have a lot of them. Okay, let's start with A. So A says that 15.7 is smaller than 1.57. Let's double check. So, in my class, one of my students, Marissa, reminded us that we line up the decimals. It's important that the decimals line up, not the numbers, because we're going to have a super wonky number if we do not line up the decimals. Okay? We have this, this, and this. Okay, please make sure that your decimals are in line. If you write it like your decimals don't line up, nope, don't do that. Okay, so we have 15.7, 1.57. Which decimal is greater? Well, there's something in the tens place right here, and there's nothing in the ones place here. So 15.7 is bigger. Oops, it should be facing the opposite direction. This is wrong. Let's look at B. Okay. B, 41.5 equals 41.5. What? Guys, I think there's 2 right answers. Okay, that's okay. 41.5, 41.5. Line up the decimals. Oh my gosh. They're the same. I think Ms. Yao made a mistake while creating this homework. That's okay, there's 2 right answers. Ms. Yao did not make a mistake. Okay, these are equal. They're both the same size, so this works. Let's look at C. Let's see if any of the kids who didn't watch the video catch on, because Oops. 0.04. Remember to line up the decimals. 0.40. Lining them up, lining them up. Okay, which decimal is bigger? Well, in the ones place, they're both the same. In the tens place, the 4 is bigger than the 0. Okay, so, oh, it's facing the right direction. C is also correct. Let's look at D. 2.35, 23.5. Line up your decimals, line them up. Make sure that they're aligned. Uh-oh. Make sure that they're aligned. Okay. Here we have something in the tens place. Nothing over here. This is really 0.235. This is the bigger decimal. It's facing the wrong direction. It's not D. So your correct answers are B and C. Before I disappear and give you your riddle, for number 6, remember fastest is the smallest time. Remember that if someone is running really fast, that they want the smallest, shortest time possible. So when you're looking for the fastest person, make sure you're looking for the smallest number. All right, this riddle this week comes straight from Ms. Baird's class with our friend Dorian. And his question is, what has 4 eyes but cannot see? I hope I didn't butcher it. Okay, what has 4 eyes but cannot see? Ms. Johnson got it. Mississippi. Mississippi. It has 4 eyes, but it cannot see because I and I sound the same. Oh my gosh, you got me there, Dorian.